Hey, and welcome back. Today we're going to pick up on some of the things where we left off the other day. So on Friday we started building out a game platform, and we also have a whole bunch of things around the thumbnail generator and a whole bunch of minor things that we actually need to continue with. I see that I still have problems with a whole bunch of technical things, so it seems that I'm out of focus. I'm back in focus, and one of my lights doesn't work, which is slightly annoying. All right, let's see if that fixed the focus thing. Okay, so on Friday we kicked off this huge job for generating a game, and that has been running. It had a hiccup where it stopped over the weekend to pass a human gate, but you see here it has generated some graphics that looks quite nice, and it is in the process of building out the whole platform here. So you can see it has something here where, if we just make this one big, where you actually have the browser and you can move around somehow. We'll see how well that works when that's actually done. We are not at the place yet where it is fully done, so we'll have to wait with that to see the actual output of it. But then we also have some leftover things that we're working on. So we have the thumbnail generator, and we've now generated all the thumbnails for the live stream I did on YouTube on building with Rust. So I made a small live stream where you can learn how to build full stack applications. You can learn to build full stack applications with Rust. So what I go through in that live stream is I go through how to build the front end, how to build the back end, how to integrate with Ethereum, doing encryption, setting up a database, and all of this. It's all covered within this live stream. And so this is something I made a year back, but I never went through making all of the thumbnails. And now we have thumbnails that are ready for doing that. I am really excited about this game that we are building out and seeing what that actually ends up being. I think it could end up becoming quite good, but we will have to see. Then we also worked on the fastcoach.io platform. That one, I don't know where we are with that one because I actually haven't looked at the latest changes. But with a bit of luck, that should be working now. So let's test that out. Okay, we'll let this start up and then just get back to it in a second. So apparently I can't figure out how to get my second light working. I don't think that should stop us from what we're doing today. But we will work on the game that we are building out, and we will also work on getting the thumbnails out. And then for tomorrow and the days after, we're going to start building out a window manager for agentic work in general. So the idea here is we're going to build a system where the whole thing is managed by a TypeScript engine. We'll have that nicely isolated in a Deno code worker. And then that TypeScript engine should be able to manage and edit things within the window manager. This means that it should be able to start up terminals. It should be able to do real-time chatting. It should be able to spin up tasks. It should basically be pretty programmable. So we want to build this out as an app platform rather than a single-use canvas kind of thing. The idea is if we could make it such that it's generally useful in a way where we could build out apps, we could have this fabric in which the agent can work and work for a long time. Cool. Let's get back to the fastcoach.io. That one is spun up now. We see here I have the coaches. One of the things we tried last time was to connect a YouTube account, and now it's at least doing the right thing. It's trying to connect. We need to set up some what do you call it? Secrets for this. And rather than Googling all of this ourselves, we're just going to ask. While this is figuring out what we need to do for the OAuth client, I will just spend a second trying to work out if I can fix the light, because it's a bit dark in here otherwise. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to set up the Google authentication. So what I have here is part of the system that I've developed for myself has a very clean separation between my what the agent can and cannot work with. So I have this app called Rush Vault, which stores all the secrets for what I'm using, and so this completely separates the boundary between what the agent can do and what I can do. So in this case, the agent actually doesn't have access to any of the secrets. It just has to use the ones from the vault. And we need to fill those ones out. And there is some guidance here on how to actually do that. I think probably we need to go to the Google Cloud thingy. I'm going to do this over here in a separate tab just to make sure that I don't accidentally stream the keys. Let's see, is it OAuth consent screens? I think it is. Wait, what? My 17th. Right, that's for Argos. One of the things I've always found slightly annoying is that I find that the Google console is super confusing. There are so many buttons to press, and it is very, very unclear how to actually create these things I want. Okay, so there is, oh, wrong button. Okay, here we go. So, fast code IO local. Let's go back here and say Okay, and here we go. So let's add these ones in. Adding that one as well. Then we should be good to go on that. And so what I'm doing here in the background now is I'm just adding the client ID and the secret. And let's go back and restart the server to see how that works out for us. Wrong program I started. I need to... Oh, also wrong one. Too many commands. Okay, so this is ready now and we can try it out again. Let's see what happens. We go here, we press creators, connect YouTube, and oh wait, why does it say Argo CD? I've clearly copied something wrong. Oh well, let's try this anyway. Maybe that's just a project name that... Yeah, I think that might be the project name. Oh no. I'm slightly confused about this, but anyway, we're going to proceed. This is just local anyway, so probably not too much of a problem at this stage. To that YouTube channel there. Okay, we're at least one step closer. So let's just... This is one of the really nice things about chatbots. It used to be like that you would have to Google all of this to understand what's actually going on. And nowadays you can just ask the chat and hopefully it will figure it out for us. Also, in the meantime, I can try to see if I can figure out why this is called Argo CD, because obviously this is not Argo CD we are trying to build out here. And I think this is spot on, right? So I've created a project originally which was called OneUp Argo CD. It's actually the only Google project that I'm using, because it's just easier to use Google for authentication than it is to do everything else. But I probably should create a new project for this eventually. Let's see though. Google off platform branding. Yeah, okay, that's all fine. Configure support developer email. Let's see if that's the issue that we are facing here. Get back to the Google terminal. And then okay, so Google Auth Audio. I probably need to create a new project for this because I actually don't want... Let me just check if I can do this here. So I'm a little bit confused why this doesn't work with my internal thing. Because this is actually, it's using an internal domain and an internal user. In fact, the user that has access to all of this. So contact the developer. Okay, so maybe the problem is that I do need to have this set up as external because of YouTube, maybe. This turns out to be slightly more tedious than I had anticipated. So, Google only accounts belonging to the project. Yes, but I'm using a Google only account. Let's see. Hopefully the chat will be able to give us some useful information on this. Probably I need to change this and create a new project, and then with that project I probably should create an external thing that also will allow us to test this. Change the OAuth audience to external. Okay, we can always make this internal again. So let's just try this. We're getting back here to the screen and we go back, we try again. Let's make this full screen, connect YouTube. You've been given access to that apps and scrolling being tested. You should only, okay, so there's a continue button there. What the? This is completely useless. Like, that's the worst error message you can possibly get. Like, literally, I can do absolutely nothing with that. Okay, in the meantime, we can see here that the engineering is around 85 to 90% complete. And it estimates another 1 to 2 hours for the remaining code fix. Fold, injection, rerun, reviews, full test suite, and so on. Full acceptance also requires human evidence. Gates that I cannot fabricate honestly. That should take about an hour. 5 independent comprehension evaluations typically. Yeah, okay. So probably about a day worth of work, but I am super excited about this because at least the graphics just looks amazing. And this is one of the really cool things about all of these AI things. They can do things that I would never be able to do. Like doing graphics like this is just not a thing that I would be able to do. But I can now because of AI, so yay. Let's see what it says. Okay, let's just try again. I'm just going to close all of these ones and just start completely fresh and see if that's the issue. Oh, wait, back. That's the wrong channel. I want this channel. Oh my goodness, they have so many buttons and they confuse me with the coloring of these. Yes, continue. Oh yay, we have connected our YouTube account. So, let's see, what happens if we press this one? Oh nice, something is happening. Holy crap. It seems that it's actually doing stuff. Let's see, signal worker, automation worker. There's some automation started creating lazy loading chat provider. Okay, I need to do something to make these easier to read and navigate through. I wonder what happened. Oh, resume discovery. So can I just do that? Okay, so I need to press this one manually. And that's a bit of an odd feature. Okay, this is interesting. Create your code. Yeah, okay, we've done that. Boost AI index. Options disabled. Transcript unavailable. So why is that? Like, it's clearly discovered a lot of garbage here. Oh, and also some private videos that shouldn't be there. Obviously I can't do that. Okay, so we found a real bug here, but hey, this is pretty good. So basically we've managed to connect to YouTube and get it to synchronize with the videos. It doesn't pull the captions like the desktop app does, but we're definitely on the right track here. So I think this is pretty good. So let me just ask it about this. Let's just dictate that instead. Using the authenticated YouTube access, you should be able to get the captions. At least I would think so. How come this doesn't work? Let's just ask one question at a time. But so the good news here is I'm starting to have some faith in this project, right? We've just let it run for a very long time and it's built out a whole bunch of things, but stuff is clearly happening now. And the real question is really whether it's implemented what we asked it to, or something else. So let's see what it answers to that. Okay, so it needs some time to think about that. So we'll just put on a bit of tunes while we do that. Okay, so this is a classification bug. So it discovered all of the videos and two as private. So, good. Let's see. Check the videos directly on YouTube. No JavaScript, please. Have auto-generated English tracks. When it's false, it skips the caption list entirely. YouTube returns caption equal false even when auto-generated caption exists. The authoritative check is authenticated The proper fix is to call captions.list for every non-private video instead of using details.caption as a gate. Okay. Okay.
Maybe we can get down, down, down. Watch like take when I aim at this.
Let me know when you have anything to try or anything running at all. I'm very curious to try this out. Nice, so there is apparently a playable preview right now. Let's try that out. We also need a mail inbox, so that's just... It actually doesn't look too bad. Goal paused, so it seems to have paused just for me. Oh, wait, stop. Remove that one again. Oh, that... So when we do this, we're running a mailbox locally just to make it super easy to set up and make it so the AI can interact with all parts of the system, including sending mails out and checking those mails. It might actually be that our two deployments are interfering with each other. I'm not sure. Let's just shut this one down. Just to be sure. I cannot recall if I've made Rush such that you can run multiple deployments at the same time. That's probably something that I should do at some point, because it seems like a really useful thing to do. But I just don't think I've gotten to that point yet. While we're waiting for this, we're going to start doing something else. Let's just check. So I have a new thing that I'm working on in the pipeline while we're doing all of this. And so that product is just called OneUp, plain, without any additional things to it. This is a window manager that is TypeScript programmable. What I mean by that is that there is a TypeScript engine that allows you to create a full... that simply allows you to manage the windows and the workspace that you're working in. And so it's support for multiple workspaces. It has support for various bits and pieces. I think it's a really cool piece of technology and it's been really fun to build out. And now I'm going to set up the lead pages for that because I think this is going to be a complete game changer in how I work. So the idea is to make a window manager that is voice first, with built-in annotation tools, such that the main way we will be interacting with the AI is through annotations, through voice, and basically everything else can go. And we are ready to set that up. So basically, what I need first is I have a description over here that I just need to get to. And once I have that one, we will start working on the lead pages for this. All right, the document is still being created. So let's just ramble a bit on here. Oh wait, that was too early. I started dictating. Let's try that again. What this really is a multi-agent system that allows an agent to manage windows in a window manager. This allows the user to be able to completely and autonomously do everything by voice while being able to see everything visually without having to read a ton of text. We need to research a great angle, a great marketing angle on how to explain this to the users. Could you start out by doing a bit of research on similar concepts? So I know that Google has done something around, I can't remember what they call it. I think it's called Google Canvas or something like that. But could you have a look at that and just try to see what already exists out there? Importantly, don't create anything yet. We need to first get the angle right, and we need to get a good understanding of what this is all, what the landing page will look for. It will be a lead pages with a waiting list where you can sign up for starters.
Here we go again.
Okay, and now we have restarted the server over here, I believe at least. So let's see if that's actually working out. Wayfoundry. So let's try that again. So just signing up with my email. Ask for verification code. We go to the mailbox. Let's make this full screen. And this is funny, it hasn't reused code. Why hasn't it reused the right code? Sign in. Okay, let's try this. So I've noticed that one of the problems that I have with Codex is it seems to be terrible at actually discovering the right code to reuse. And I think this is exactly what we're seeing here. The world needs at least Okay. Yes, but there's nothing I can do about this. So... Okay, let's try to bring this up on a browser instead then. Why does it go... it doesn't. Now it works. We need to go back to our mailbox. Inbox. You gotta be kidding me. Well, oh wait, so... Eight pixels, really? For fuck's sake. There we go. Okay. Wait, why do we have all of this garbage? So I'm supposed to use WASD or the arrows to move something around. Like clearly release control. Okay, that... Okay, that doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Nothing happens. Okay. Well, clearly this is a prototype and the chat wasn't quite done building it out. Okay, let's let it work a bit on this, and then it can just continue on its goal. And then with that, we can get back and see how far we are on the research side. And this is one of the things that AI loves to do. It loves to say what things are not. So it's not a chatbot. It's not a traditional voice assistant. It's not an infinite canvas. It's not a desktop automation utility, and it's not a replacement operating system. It's a workbench in which humans and agents operate the same visible computer through the same action language. Whatever action language means. It's just TypeScript. 3-layer position, the promise. Speak the goal, watch your Mac do the work. Yeah, I actually like that. That's a really good sentence. And the experience. One request becomes a live workspace, not another wall of text. Yep, that's also a great thing. The reason to trust it. Work does not count as finished until OneUp can show the evidence. I guess that's kind of true. Well, it is true, for sure. Real Windows, not a simulation. Wait, actual browser terminal, PDF, and application windows. The user agent and the user and the agent inside the same environment. One language for everybody. Voice, chat, console input, and an external automation all produce the same TypeScript commands against the capability surface. There is no weaker voice mode. There's no weaker voice mode with separate sets of commands. So one of the things I really like about this product that I'm building out is it's meant to survive all of the things that are transitive. So for instance, right now we're using one model. If I build a whole product around that model, in a month it's going to be outdated. Likewise, you have the same thing with tools, right? So this month we have one tool that's hot, and next month it's another tool that's hot. And the only thing you can be sure of is if you double down on one single tool, you will be out of business pretty soon. Unless it's a really, really big tool that's not going away anytime soon. But even something like Claude and OpenAI are quite fragile companies. If you see how the curves of adoption have been, it's been a massive growth and then it goes away again. And so that means that if you're building on top of those products and making those ones your core value, then what will happen eventually is that the curve will go down in adoption because it didn't live up to all the promises that they made. And together with it, you have a chance of participating in that fold. That does not mean that we shouldn't tie into those products. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is we should be careful about how closely we link ourselves to one product or the other. Holy crap, this is actually pretty good what it's coming up with here. So I think this is super good. I do think that it's missing one crucial point. And we're going to get to that in just a second. One up makes autonomous computer work visible, durable, and verifiable. Voice is how you direct it. The workspace is how you understand it. Okay, cool. I think this is great, but I think one thing that you're missing is that all of this is running inside a TypeScript sandbox. And TypeScript is basically the most tested, most safe sandbox that exists on the planet. We've been testing it since God knows when, right? It's been tested thoroughly in browsers over the past many years. So it's a V8 engine that's actually driving all of this, which also makes that we have a super solid security model. Yeah, I love that. Autonomy without unrestricted access. I always get a little bit the creeps whenever Open AI or Claude starts to operate my computer. I mean, right now it's a necessity because there is no really good alternative, but yeah. Okay, cool. Let's make a landing page for this. It should really stand out. The CTA should be join the waitlist. So I'm just in the process of setting up the DNS for this, and we're using Cloudflare as usual. And we're using the lead pages system that we've built into Compound Coders to build out the actual lead pages for this. So that'll be super interesting to see how that works out. What I'm most curious about is how well it's going to design the web page. I think it will be okay, but let's see.
This is madness.
So what I just asked it to do is to use, we have the UI.sh thing for CSS and Tailwind CSS, setting that up. And so I'm asking it to remember to use that one because we paid £100 or $125, something like that for it. And typically that improves the results quite a bit. Okay, we have a preview now. This doesn't look great. I mean, one thing you do have to hand it here is it does keep to my brand colors for Trolls that I am quite strictly. Maybe a little bit more than I would like it to for this. I do like the logo though. The logo is awesome. Oh, you can't see that, can you? So this is quite nice and easy, but speak the goal, see the work. That works. You said research the market browser. The graphics here is actually also pretty good. Okay, so let's just, before headlessly criticizing, let's talk about what's working here. Right, so I actually think it captures a lot of detail about this product. So it has a nice concept of what the workspace looks like. It does show what you're seeing in the thing. We'll replace that with a video, and then one request, many windows. I do think branding might be slightly off what we actually want. Voice chat. Deny by default. Yeah, this is super cool though. Because it also captured that aspect really nicely. I do think this is slightly technical, so this will appeal to a very technical audience. And we probably want a demo that shows what it does in more detail. Yeah, okay, overall I'm pretty happy with the copy here. The copy is good, the design is shit. I think that's pretty much it. Join the waitlist, what happens? Press join the waitlist, it doesn't go anywhere. This is garbage. This is why we have human review gauge. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's start with what's working. So I think that the mockups of the app is great. They're great. I do think that the site is slightly to the technical side of things. I would want the design to be completely redone. It's very terminal likely. The audience that we actually would want to capture, I mean, maybe they're developers for starters, but I actually think in the long run what we want to capture are people who are running businesses and who wants to feel that it's easy to use AI for doing that. So I think a lot of the things that you have here really supports that, but then the feel of the website certainly does not. Also, the join waitlist does not work at all. So we need to fix that. And finally, at the bottom, we have this weird name, email, confirm your complete sign up, which I think doesn't work. Okay. So fastcodes.io is now updated. Let's test that out, see how that's working. Okay, something didn't start right there. I think this still needs a little bit of improvement. The API seems to not be loading correctly, so not sure what's going on there. Let's just try to do something. Maybe it is interfering with this one. Let's just try to start a terminal here. Oh my goodness, my computer is dying here for some reason. What's going on? Okay, so that's going on. There's a whole bunch of Docker processes here for a number of different things. Let's just try to shut everything down and see if we can get this up running nicely. All right, we start a fresh session. We'll see what comes out of that. all that said, let's just have a look. How are we using the design scale again for a... Actually, let's just try to do something here. Where do we have my browser? My browser is gone. It's there. Let's see, what should we search for? Let's see if we can go for some luxury look or feel. No, this is not what we want. This doesn't look or feel luxury at all. At least not by my standards. How do I get rid of this? Okay, this is useless. I need to log in, become part of the club. Okay, we're going to do that though, because some of these were actually looking pretty good. Let's see if we can do that. We're just going to log in with Google. And I'll just have one more thing that I need to unsubscribe to eventually. On top of that, just get off my back, will you? It's not what I asked for. I don't like any of those things. Get me back to luxury landing pages. Great. Here we go. We had something here that actually looks pretty decent. Copy image. And let's get back here. Let's just give it a few more things in the same kind of style. It's a bit too crowded. That does look okay. This one looks okay as well. Copy image. I've never tried to never tried to make landing pages this way before, so it might work or it. So I don't know whether this is actually going to work or not. Okay, but it has a preview here. Why can't it just show me the thing? That will just give me the little guy who... Where is that preview one? Well, this is actually quite a bit better, but this is wrong. It completely so the things that I actually liked about the first design, it completely redesigned those things. That's just insane, right? In the first design, it's gotten all of the app correct. All of the app mockups were correct. And now it's done something like this. It's even changed the bloody copy. Okay, it has gotten some of it right, but not really. Like the first one really illustrated that it was managing Windows within a work environment. Okay, let's see if this has started working now as we wanted to. No, the backend doesn't work. One thing that I'm actually thinking about, so this game that we are making, where we are having this, grid that you can walk around on, we could make it so that people could build their startups inside of this and basically just showcase what they're doing and getting that extra exposure and be that part of the quests, maybe not. I need to think about that. And also make it such that it should be super easy to sign on, right? So you should basically get on the web page and you should see the map right away with who's on it and be able to move around. So similar to Slither.io, where basically you see the game first, and let's just try to do that, see if that game still exists. Yeah, here we go, right? So this is a super nice game where it's really, really easy to enter. And basically what I would have in mind is that you start out by seeing the game immediately instead of, or the play space immediately instead of having to first sign in, right? So you'd see this, you wouldn't have any character to move around, and then there should be a leaderboard and there should be a small login button. This is nowhere near as crowded as I remember it, but maybe that's because I'm still quite small. This is, by the way, a really fun game. I've really enjoyed playing this. And so this is kind of a similar concept, that we're going to make this online world where people can just join as they want. And probably we should have something around that you can claim ground and build your own private space within the world. And then we just need the canvas to be infinite for that to be possible. Oh my goodness, I died. Okay, too bad. Let's see, there's something. I think it's my codex app that's actually dying. Let me just... Oh, 4 gigabytes. I guess that's not too bad. But then if you do look at how many processes it has open, I mean, it all adds up. But there's still plenty of free space. What about CPU, codex? It does consume quite a bit of CPU. So maybe that's the issue, because it really doesn't feel very responsive at this point. Actually, let's do this in the browser and get back to the mailbox here. Holy crap, there is a ton of stuff open here. That obviously does not help anything. Let's see, mailbox. The app remains at, mailbox is at. Let's check this out. Back to the mailbox. It's really not meant to run in small windows, is it? Also, what happened now? Disappeared. Okay, we can fix these things later on. Going to put that there. Okay, now it has put this overlay on. And we can actually move around. This is a... Oh, this is pretty good. I would want to hide that thing though. This sidebar. Really want to hide that. Let's just see. Like this. And you can see what I see. So, but it does have solid things we can't move into, and does have follow, so this is pretty good. I wonder now if this is already a multiplayer world and we we would need to change tab, wouldn't we? But so we would put that in here, and we would do trolls plus 1 at 1 up. We would need to go back, get the next email, inbox. No, so this appears to not be multiplayer yet. Okay, but we have a canvas we can move around on. This is pretty cool. Not as glorious as the picture that it has drawn. So if you recall, this is what we're going... Oh, wait, what happened to my window? Yeah. This is what we're going for. And I think it's going to look awesome if we do it this way. And I can see how we can make all of this work out. And then the question is just how are we going to... So we need an S3 bucket to serve all of the tiles. We need a way to make sure that we can upload things. But I think... Actually, how about we would make it such that... We should make it such that you could... As you level up, you should be able to do spells. And spells would allow you to do new objects in the world, and we are going to use an AI model to actually allow us to do this. I think that could be a pretty cool concept. Yeah, I think that's probably what we want to do. So once we get the engine up running, we have the canvas you can move around on. We need to make sure that becomes infinite, or at least slowly increasing in size. The landing page should just be the map itself. So right now the landing page looks like this. Which, oh, this disappeared. Which is okay, a small world that remembers where you left off. I think that's going to be pretty cool to do it that way. Could be fun, could be really fun to do a thing where you do spells, and the spells are basically just specialized LLMs that run something to generate something. I mean, we could even take this to the extreme where they have a way of operating, right? So when you do a spell, it would create the graphics, it would create the underlying code. You could use a Lua engine that's embedded into the system to do this, which tells you how you could interact with the system. I think that could be fun. And then the question is just, how do we tie this into anything useful? I don't know. And do we even need to tie it into anything useful? I don't know either. Let's have a look at the corrected draft here. That actually doesn't look too bad. Holy crap, I even put a registered trademark in there. Oh, funny. Okay, clearly I am incapable of using a normal browser. Let's just have a look here. In fact, I don't even know where my browser went. Ah, it's right up here, that's why. Speak the goal, see the world. Work. 1 up. Turns request into blah blah blah. Browser, terminal. Something here I can't see, but that's okay. Run, call 9, wait. One request, many windows, visible progress, verified results. AI chat made. Yeah, chat made that one's longer. One up makes it. So work visible. I mean, that's technically true for what we're trying to do. We probably want to iterate on that, though. The interface changed. Yeah, I love this. This is super clear and super nice and easy to understand. Bounded by design. The agent doesn't get your computer. It gets a small explicit set of capabilities. Every action is expressed as TypeScript, executed inside embedded V8 isolate. The runtime has no file system. Technically it has a sub-process, but you need to approve it. Oh wait, it does. Right. Every desktop action process are denied by default policy boundary. Okay, voice chat. Okay, this figure is okay, but it needs to be made better. Done is a claim. Wanna ask for the evidence. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this color is burning out my eyes. Oh wait, go back. What happens if I join the waitlist? Nothing at the moment, okay. We need to work out why that is. But anyway, this is a good start. This is a good start. We have a landing page now. And we can improve on it. I'm not really fond of the private alpha. Yes, absolutely. Private alpha. We need that. And then probably we will do discounts on the live sessions. Probably the first versions will be completely free so you can try it out. But also it's done a really good job and not too many boxes and boxes. Actually, I'm pretty happy with this design. I mean this is just painful though. But it's not painful. It's just very pink. Not even pink, maybe pink. Dirty pink. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, you saw how little effort we actually had to do to get this up running. And we have that running now, so you can sign up with your email to figure out what you want. Okay, so let's... Could you propose... Overall, let's do this. Overall, actually, let's do this. Overall, this looks good. I do think we need to change the colors a bit. So could you propose 3 different color palettes? Then maybe apply the first one of them and we can see what it looks like. So really what we're going for is something that signals reliable, signals high quality, signals luxury. This is what we want. And I was thinking maybe something towards a purplish, maybe the purple of the Trolls That I Am brand. That could at least be one thing to explore. We're just going to publish this right away. I think this is pretty good all in all, right? So we've built out the landing page, and I think maybe tomorrow or Wednesday we'll start building out this product. I've done a little bit of work on my laptop, and I think we're going to have a blast of a time building out this, because I think the idea is really, really cool, and I think we'll get to a place where we can do some awesome stuff with it. In fact, I'm completely convinced of that. And maybe in the future, the only thing we will ever need is a single workspace or a single instance of this app. By the way, did you know that 1UP is actually a trademark? Funny. Okay, so it didn't know that, but it actually added, I don't know if you noticed this. They added this little trademark symbol at the top. You can see that if I pull it, it has this R. And it is actually a registered trademark, which is why I asked, because I was utterly surprised that it did that. But yeah. Nice. Let's see where we are with the other things. Oh, I see. It was just delayed. Have a look at this. I actually did get the email. You're on the list. Nice. And the email even looks good. Just have a look at how little work I actually had to do to put up this landing page. It's been, it's super easy to do. And this is all thanks to that I've built out this whole system for building lead pages that makes it I can just chat to it and talk about what I want instead of having all of this nonsense with having to build out a thing, upload it to Git, create a pages, and then afterwards setting up domains and everything. This is just so much easier to work with. And this is still running, trying to work out what exactly is going wrong. So I think that's pretty much it. Okay, we're coming to an end of this live stream, and I hope you enjoyed watching along. If you do, leave a comment on what you would like to see in this world we are building out. If you have any ideas for this 1UP app we're building, let me know what you would like to have in it. I have an idea that I want to have this hyperframes working with it, and I have a bunch of other ideas of what we should be integrating. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. So see you in the next one, and thank you for watching along.